No freaking way, you whispered to yourself as you quickly hung up and put the phone down on the desk. You watched as Professor Kim looked down at his phone confused and just continued on with the lesson. You felt your cheeks heat up from the events of last night. I was getting kissing lessons from my damn professor, what the hell?
What? What happened? Did he answer?
You were in a trance as your eyes were glued on your perfectly handsome professor. You shook your head and looked back at Jimin. Should I tell him? It's not like this is anything serious, right? I should keep this down on the low for now. No, it was sent straight to voicemail.
Tough luck, kiddo. He clicked his tongue and took out his notebook to take notes down from the lesson.
Could he even remember me from last night? Could he know that it's just me from my voice? Wow, I should have taken my blindfold off last night. He's absolutely breathtaking. Damn waitress for interrupting us last night. Damn these short 7 minutes. Damn it all. Ting and Jungkook's laughter brought you out of your thoughts as they were trying their best not to laugh. You looked over to see what was so amusing, and you noticed that they were watching funny videos on YouTube. Idiots.
Excuse me.
The four of you shot your heads up as you recognized that deep voice. Professor Kim was sternly looking at the four of you with his hands crossed behind his back.
What seems to be so amusing from my lesson?
Professor Kim's eyes landed on you, and you froze on the spot as this was your first time making eye contact with him. You slowly nodded your head to his question.
The four of you see me after class.
He looked so annoyed that you couldn't maintain eye contact with him for so long because you were feeling intimidated. You were grateful that you were sitting down. You felt like your knees had vanished. Turning over to look at Jungkook, you harshly shoved him as they got you into trouble. They didn't understand as to why you were so angry with them, since this is not the first time you've gotten into trouble. This time was different. There was no way you could look at your professor without thinking about what was about to happen between the two of you.
Tomorrow I will be handing out a test to see where you are all at with the history material. Class dismissed, except for the four of you.
Professor Kim looked up from his desk as he was putting some papers away into his briefcase. Something inside you told you that there might be a chance that he doesn't remember you just yet. You put your stuff in your bag as you didn't want to go up and talk to the professor. Jimin was getting so irritated that he stuffed everything into your backpack for you and dragged you to Professor Kim's desk. The four of you stood in front of his desk. The silence in the room was killing you. You looked around the room, not trying to make eye contact with the professor.
I hate interruptions during my lessons. Let this be the last time it ever happens.
His arms were once again crossed behind his back. This posture made him seem so superior, and his deep voice was just so powerful. You saw Jimin gulp as he noticed a strong aura coming from Professor Kim.
Look me in the eyes when you're being spoken to.
Namjoon spoke with a cold tone as he turned to face you. You bit the inside of your cheek to refrain yourself from laughing at how scared Jimin looked a second ago. Now it was you who was scared. What happened to the guy who was so easy to talk to and who got all flustered? Alcohol really changes people.
You're free to go.
Namjoon sat back down on his desk and continued to work on some forms. You mentally let out a sigh as you were grateful that he had not recognized you. The three boys quickly rushed out of the room as there was so much tension in the air. They almost felt embarrassed for getting in trouble on the first day of classes. You were the last one walking out of the room, but Namjoon stopped you.
You know it's considered rude when you call someone and then hang up.
Oh my god! You stopped in your tracks. You were grateful your back was faced towards him, so he did recognize me. You slowly turned around, afraid to even look him more in the eyes, knowing now that he was aware of who you were exactly. When you turned around, he wasn't even looking at you. He was busy writing away on some papers.
What are the odds? I was teaching you how to kiss last night, and here I am still continuing on teaching you. About history, though.
You were attracted to him. There was no denying that. The way he carried himself and spoke just made you more intrigued by his persona. You didn't even teach me when you and I didn't even kiss. Besides, that was just a one-time thing. I'll find someone else to teach me. What the hell did I just say? Where is this damn boldness coming from? You couldn't believe you were having this discussion with your professor. Namjoon raised his eyebrows, tilting his head as he still had his eyes focused on his papers. He turned around and left the room. You could have sworn you heard him mutter the word cute under his breath. With the professor? Really? You felt someone drag you down the hallway, far from Professor Kim's class. Rip my arm while you're at it, why don't you? You yanked your arm away from Jimin's grip as you kicked him on the leg. Two of them were standing in front of you, Jimin and Taeyoung mostly looking at you with puppy eyes so you would spill the beans to them. Jungkook was still feeling bad that he didn't have his moment with you. It's not like I knew. Who knew I would get kissing lessons from my damn professor? You turned your face in frustration as you had already said too much. Jimin and Taeyoung looked at you confused. I didn't even get to kiss him yet! Cook let out a small smile as he knew that maybe there was still some hope for him. He would have to talk to you privately. He had to confess his feelings to you before he could lose his chance. Jungkook pulled you to the side. He leaned against the lockers looking out to the floor and then back at you.
Can I talk to you later?
Ever since Jungkook developed feelings for you, he became distant in the friendship and a little shy. He thought that by trying to avoid you, his feelings would vanish, but in reality, it only made him feel empty on the inside, not being around you. Sure, we can meet outside by the gym after the last class. You smiled at him. A smile seconds after appeared on his face. God, he was whipped for you. He easily had grown feelings for you. He nodded his head at you and walked with you to the school's cafeteria. You looked over at the clock and realized that you'd lost track of time. I'm late for dinner! You quickly rushed out of the library and cursed as you saw that it was raining, drizzling. You got your backpack, placed it over your head, and ran home. You're already halfway home when you remember about Jungkook. Oh my god, I totally forgot. Damn it. I'm gonna have to call him later to apologize. He was still standing outside by the gym, getting drenched by the rain. Jungkook looked at his hands, watched as the rain continued to drench him. He realized you weren't going to meet up with him. So he just went home. You reached your house. You removed the wet clothes from your body. You got ready for the special dinner. The whole time you couldn't get Namjoon out of your head. He was so handsome, and that voice, dear God. How could one human be so well-structured? You had started all this already, and you wanted to see it how it ended. You wanted to be kissed. You wanted someone that you already were attracted to. You got your phone and texted him. He quickly responded back, agreeing to teach you how to kiss. You felt your stomach do a flip after reading his response. You had to stop with all these feelings for him. After all, it was just kissing lessons that you wanted from him, right?
Rosalina, come down already!
I'm coming! She threw the phone on the bed. What's so important about this dinner that I need to be present for anyways? You complained as you walked.
It's your sister's engagement party!
Your mother cheerfully spoke, making you shoot your head up and look around the living room. Your eyes first landed on your sister, and then on the person she was holding hands with. Namjoon?